Hey there, feelers and deep thinkers. Welcome back to the Empath Experience. I'm your host, Cheyenne, here to navigate with you the beautiful mess of being human. So before we get into it, I just want you guys, we got another host today. Introduce yourself, tell the people where you from, your Instagram, and how they can reach you.
What's up, y'all? It's Leash, aka King Leash. You can add me on the gram, KINGGLISH. From Uptown Harlem. Y'all already know, representing a bit in the building.
That's some Uptown hosting.
Yeah, you know, it's Harlem in the building, man. What's up?
Harlem.
Yeah, what's going on?
And how did we met, friends?
We met at work. You know, one day I just was working a post with Cheyenne, and her energy was just so real. I felt so open to just talk about whatever I was going through at the time. You know, I only been at the job, I was freshly new, probably 6-7 months. And I was going through a big situation. So I was talking to it about people that I felt like would be able to relate or give me some advice. You know?
I was going through it too.
We was both going through a little something.
Right.
Right. So I just felt that connection with her, and that was it. From there, we just instantly clicked, and we've been rocking ever since, you know? So that's it. That's how we
I
met,
will
right?
say, Fred, you give off a real grounded energy.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Easy to talk to, easy to be around, you know?
Sure.
You could always count on you for sure.
Yeah,
you get what I'm trying to say?
Definitely.
So today, we got a lot of topics for you guys. However, let's start off with our daily check-in. So it's usually a thumbs up if you're feeling amazing, a thumbs in the middle if you're and a thumbs down if it's just you're not feeling it today.
Got you.
Where are you? And how can we help you as a community to change that by the time you leave here?
You know, these days I've been feeling thumbs up. You know, I got my days where I'm like, you know, whatever, but these days, for the last year, I've definitely been thumbs up. You know, getting to know myself every single day a little bit better and trying different things. This is my first time ever doing a podcast. So,
Yay,
you know,
stepping
out my comfort zone a little bit, you know. So I'm just trying to do new things and tap into my personality, you know, trying to expand my personality a little bit more. So definitely a thumbs up right now. As a community, I feel that the best way for anybody in my community right now, anybody in my circle to be able to help me is just be there for me. You know what I'm saying? If I call you, pick up. You know, if I text you, answer me back. Let's hang out. You know what I'm saying? Make plans. You know what I mean?
Let's live.
Yeah. Look, I spent Valentine's Day with you. Right?
That's a fact.
With you, and shout out to Huggy. You know what I'm saying?
And that was one of the best Valentine's I've had.
Yo,
and it was
I
feel like it wasn't it wasn't like a relationship thing.
Yeah,
it was a relationship because, you know, we're friends and stuff like that.
Right.
But I feel like it really was about just showing love that day.
Yeah,
and that's what Valentine's Day should be about. You
Pulled up on y'all with the gifts, you know, because I'm a gentleman at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
She got these little heart souvenir things. They're so cute. I have mine now. I still got mine.
Good.
I know friend is sad that hers broke, but
hers broke. Damn, man. All right, but that's good though. You know, I wanted to make sure
we had a night.
Yeah, we did. But y'all, as us going out as a group, y'all my ladies. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure the ladies always feel loved.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So that's just me.
I feel like everybody deserves some type of
absolutely
love, gratitude,
100%.
appreciation all the time.
100%, definitely.
Even though, you know, you're already comfortable, you give me the vibes that you're already feeling safe and comfortable here. But what we do is usually a little icebreaker question. So yours is, if emotions had sense, what would anxiety smell like? And what would your other emotions smell like? So joy, sadness, anger, stuff like that.
Okay. What would anxiety smell like? To me, for me, anxiety smell like gas. Like gasoline, going to the gas station. That's what it smelled like to me. When I have anxiety, it make me feel sick to my stomach. It just smell like gas.
Gas make you feel sick?
Yeah.
I like the smell of gas.
But I enjoy it, but it's also it's like a sickening feeling, you know?
You do get that stomach.
Yeah,
I get that.
You know, so if I had to say for anxiety, that would be it. I don't know. What other kind of emotion? Happiness for me smells like tequila. margarita.
Hello.
You know what I mean? Smell like a nice margarita on the rocks, classic. Like
the dark
salt,
liquor
no
drinkers
sugar.
is not gonna like that.
Yeah, nah, Don Julio Reposado though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Reposado girl.
I am over the Don, y'all.
I am too, low key.
No more Don on my head, okay?
I'm tapping into Patron Reposado, low key. So that's definitely.
I've been drinking a little Douce.
Like. Okay, I like Douce. We drank Douce together.
Yeah, I think I don't want to feel crazy the next day.
Yeah.
What about sadness?
Sadness to me smell like garbage, because I don't like to be stink garbage. It smell like spoiled food in the fridge because I don't like to feel like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To feel sadness is not something that I enjoy. You know, and smelling the trash, I don't enjoy that. You know what I mean? So it's like I definitely want to get that out as soon as possible.
Sadness smell like a not a homeless person, but like somebody outside, like just.
Right. Smell like a dirty Band-Aid.
Get out of here.
Smell like a dirty Band-Aid. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a good feeling. It's not a good smell. Like, I want that to go as soon as possible. You know? So, for sure.
That's interesting. I kind of like the icebreaker question. It's kind of different.
Me too. I enjoy that.
What I will say, though, I feel like my joy feels like my favorite perfume. It smells like hot dogs and barbecues, all the happy things. Or when you smell fried chicken,
for sure.
Like those are all happy smells.
Definitely,
you know what I'm trying to say?
Definitely, that's good.
But moving into emotions and other words with the E, like empathy. Do you find yourself having more empathy than sympathy? And if so, what is the difference to you?
See, for me, I definitely feel myself being more empathetic to people because I feel that with a lot of things that people go through, you know, I'm in my 30s now, so it's like I've definitely been through a lot.
She doesn't look it, y'all. Okay.
Yeah, appreciate it. But definitely I feel that I've been through a lot in my life where I could see my point of view in somebody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could definitely tap into how they feeling, get into their shoes, and then be able to help them get to that level where they want to be or get out of whatever it is that they feeling. And I feel, for me, that's what empathy is. Like, being able to be like, yo, I feel you. Damn, I could feel your sadness, and I'm feeling so sorry that you're feeling that way right now, but let me let you know I have been there before, and let me help you out or give you some advice on how you could get out of that and feel a lot better. You know, that's, for me, that's being empathetic. As far as sympathy, like, we practice that as human beings almost every single day. So as far as being sympathetic, I feel like us working in customer service, period, we have to have that sympathy for other people, or not have to, but at least fake it till you make it, right? If somebody come up to you and be like, oh man, like, you know, I'm having the worst day, it's just like, oh, I'm so sorry that you're having that experience, like, you know, how can I help you today? That's having sympathy for me. We do that all the time at work. You know, somebody will come to you, you know, working in security is always somebody like, you know, these rules are so, I'm having the worst day. These rules are so, like, obnoxious right now. Like, do we really have to? Right. And it's just like, you know, I can understand how this could be troublesome for you. You know, I don't like to follow the rules either, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just.
I definitely get what you're saying. Yeah. I do feel like the blurred lines between empathy and sympathy comes from people forcing it.
Yes.
So, like, with sympathy, like, when you naturally feel sorry for someone or naturally are empathizing how they feel, because the two words are from one another.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So when you are empathizing someone who's actually that you feel sorry for, it shouldn't be forced. It should feel natural.
Exactly.
And just because you see other people doing it or if that person is looking for it, don't mean you have to give it.
Right.
Where on the other hand, I feel like empathy is something you should practice every day.
Yeah.
Empathy can be in like different forms. You know, like you mentioned in us at work. I feel like empathy comes in hand with just us even having sympathy. That's a form of empathy.
Yeah.
Because people don't feel sorry for you. We're in the hospital, you know, and sometimes it's like that. Like, we lose people every day. There's a lot going on in a hospital all the time. People don't like hospitals. Hospitals have a weird energy.
Yeah.
But with that being said, do you feel like you've ever empathized with someone so much that you almost felt sorry for people who didn't? Or do you have someone in your life who gives you so much empathy that if you feel like if anybody else doesn't have this empathy, they'll be like in a loss?
I would say my aunt. like my family, you know, she always is able to relate to me and empathize with how I'm feeling about a situation or something, or she's able to like say like, listen, like, you know, I've been where you at, you know what I mean? Being able to just like, you know, put herself in my shoes and tell me like it's gonna be okay, or trying to give me the best steps to success for me to not feel that way or something like that. But if I didn't have her or somebody like that in my life, I feel that I would be at a loss. For real, like, you know, like
You need
emotionally,
one person.
you know, yeah, emotionally, like I would not be in tune with myself. Like she is always able to ground me in my emotions and get me back to where my character is. Like sometimes I get out of character with my emotions. She's just like, this is not true. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean?
You always need that one person.
Yeah, yeah. And she's my best friend, my soul sister, my second mother. You know, I'm the godmother to her kids. You know what I'm saying? Like me and her is like this. So it's like her right there. Like she's always able to be so empathetic with me. She never judges me for feeling the way that I feel, or, you know, being a crybaby or something about something, or getting too emotional.
Because one thing for sure, I'm a cry.
Yeah, I'm a cry. And she always tell me, it's okay to cry. Do it. I've cried a million times over stupid situations or something so simple that nobody else would cry over.
Right.
So, you know, don't worry
and
about
it's your
that.
emotions.
Exactly.
I feel like as humans, we are very hard on how we direct people's vulnerability.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you're feeling something, I feel like feel it.
Yeah.
Feel it through.
Allow yourself to feel that.
Right.
You know, because if you don't, you always going to be battling that. You know what I mean? Like, I always tell my brothers, I got 5 brothers. I have no sisters. And you know how they always say boys got to grow up strong, can't cry, can't show emotion, whatever. I tell my brothers all the time, if you got to cry, cry. Let it out. And my brothers, I can honestly say, are probably some of the most loving human beings that I've ever met in my life. Emotionally intelligent and in tune. And if they need to cry, they let it out. You know, like I'm very like big on that. Men being able to be emotional, or just anybody being able to just show their emotions. Me, I don't care. I'll cry at work.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care where. Like,
if I gotta cry, I'm crying.
If I need to feel something, I would just have to.
And you know me and you have had these conversations where I probably shed a tear, something real quick, or wanted to shed a tear. I don't care. I'm gonna let my emotions out. I don't care. You could judge me all you want. The only person I fear to judge me is God. I don't care about nobody else, you know. So.
And it's just like to judge someone based off of a human trait says a lot about you as a human.
Yeah.
You know, when I say my intro every day and I say, you know, here to navigate that beautiful mess of being a human with you, I mean that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm having conversations with different people and we're navigating it together. I may learn something from you, you may learn something from me.
Right.
I feel like to this day, I'm still also learning that it is okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
And that's just because I've always been a person to show that I'm not okay. You know, and people have, you know, I feel like sympathize with me, that people also have neglected me for it. So it's like it's like two sides to the coin if you really want to get technical.
For sure. And that neglect will really like make or break you. You know what I mean? Like me, I was a hot mess last year. You know, you was there firsthand.
I feel like
you know what I'm saying?
Last year was crazy.
I think everybody, right? 2024 was insane, right? So when I would express myself to certain people, I knew who not to ever share my emotions with again. You know what I mean? Because they didn't have the same type of response that maybe you had or somebody else had, like, you know, somebody in my family or somebody outside of work, whatever the case may be. But I knew who to not have those emotions with again, because the response that they had felt like neglect for me. And I don't do good with rejection. Right. It's like, nah. You know what I mean? Like, nah.
I don't like
you will never get that same energy again. Like, I'll never talk to you again.
I definitely get the whole rejection thing. I feel like it's a processing thing and a perspective.
Yeah.
I had a host on a couple episodes before, and we were just talking about how divergent and typical people, like divergent people and then typical people, so neurodivergent and neurotypical people, process things differently. And I feel like that goes hand in hand with emotions as well. Yeah. You know, some people, they're going to hold it together. I've run into people who just don't feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not because they don't care. To know them is to love them.
Yes.
But they just don't have the same amount of emotional intelligence you do. Yeah. You know, I have a 2-year-old and everybody be like, gentle parenting. But for me, it's telling my 2-year-old why it's okay to do that.
Right.
It's telling my 2-year-old after he has this emotion, what the emotion is, why he feels this emotion and how we can fix it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because people grow up and they know the top emotions like sad, angry, happy, yeah, those regular emotions.
Right.
The seven dwarfs.
Yeah. They can't tap into the deeper ones.
They can't
You know
tap
what I'm
into the
saying?
underlying feeling
Yes.
like rejection.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Disappointment,
shame, yes.
things like that. Like people don't
Yeah,
tap into those.
yeah.
And as I sit here and we have this conversation, I'm tapping into it myself.
Mm.
So I don't want anybody to ever feel like I'm talking about things that never is going to be practiced. They're being practiced.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Do you think that people give out more sympathy than empathy?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I feel sympathy is more so given out because it's free. Sympathy is free. With empathy, I feel like you don't gotta pay for it, but you gotta earn that. You know what I'm saying? Like sympathy is saying I give out to anybody every day. I give that out all day, 8 to 4.
Day, like, I'm so sorry to hear that. You have a good one.
Hear that. You know, yeah, you have a good one.
I definitely get that.
You know, hopefully your day get better. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, good luck in your you know what I'm saying? Good luck in your surgery, or best of luck in your recovery. You know, that's all sympathy for me. Like just having some type of emotion for another person. That's free. Every day. But empathy is when you're able to really connect with somebody on a deeper level. Like you gotta earn that. You gotta like receive that from somebody and
like
be able to
you
give
gotta
that out.
Earn that.
You gotta earn that empathy for sure.
You do.
For sure. Especially when you speaking with somebody who's like in tune with their emotions, emotionally intelligent, have that capacity for their emotions to be able to have that conversation. You gotta earn that for sure. For sure. You got to be locked in.
I definitely feel like sympathy is something that's easy accessible.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it's like, and sometimes it's used as like manipulation tactics.
Yes. Yeah. I feel
Like,
that too. We do it all the time at work. I sympathize with a person to get them to calm down at work, to de-escalate a situation.
To act how I want you to act.
You know what I'm saying? It's like giving out a mask. That's free. You know what I'm saying? It's free, you know? So
you take the whole box.
For sure. You take the whole box. Yeah, take as many as you need.
It's
you know?
like it's a manipulation tactic when it becomes unreal.
Right.
That's why I was saying like empathy goes into sympathy because like you ever catch yourself scrolling or like just seeing somebody who has a death in their family and you like, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't know that person directly, you're just saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, and I'll be
Definitely.
honest. Sometimes I'll write it
and don't even
and I'll
really
delete it and don't even send it. Because I know for me, I don't really mean it. Yeah. But I know that's what's to be said.
That's supposed to be said.
I have sympathy for you.
Exactly.
You get what I'm trying to say?
That's what you're supposed to say at that moment. So it's like, all right, let me just, whatever real quick. And then like, forget it. They got 300 other people that's saying that. They be all right.
Right. And I think that comes from a place of other people doing that to you. When you see people writing you in times of need, and you're like, girl, this girl don't care nothing about me. Like, why is she writing me? Why is she telling me anything? You don't care.
That's serious.
But you're showing the sympathy because that's the right thing to do. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, definitely.
If you're gonna feel sympathy, you might as well just be honest about it.
Yeah, and that's what you were saying too. Like, it's fake. Sometimes it could be fake. Sometimes it could be real. Like, if you gonna feel it for real, do it. Do it for real. Don't do it just cause. That's important. I think
we touched on it. I wanted to ask you, like, if you ever been in a situation where a friend or family member was going through something and you felt like it was your need to fix it for them, or they was asking you to fix it for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But you kind of spoke on that, with your brothers and stuff. You are active and present with them.
Yeah, for
your
sure.
Aunts and stuff like that, friends. Yeah. So you kind of answered it.
Okay.
But what I wanted to we talk about this all the time, the difference between transparency and honesty.
Transparency and honesty.
Like, I feel like there's a lot of words in mental health that are, like, mistaking for different things, or people have taken them out of context. So if a person's being honest, are they also being transparent?
I feel in some similarity, yes. It could be transparency as well, but I feel like me being transparent is me being vulnerable. You know what I mean? I feel like that's me letting you see me. Me just letting you know, hey, this is how I'm giving my emotions to you, like being empathetic with you, like allowing you to see me for real. Me just being honest with you is me just telling you the truth. Like
this is me telling you what it is.
Right.
You know
what I'm saying? Yeah.
And you take this or you leave it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Me being transparent with you is saying, all right, Friend, I know I was acting crazy earlier with you, but this is because when I got off the bus today, the bus driver started yelling at me, and I started feeling a little anxious. So when I seen you and you started yelling at me, I started yelling back.
Right. So I feel transparency is you allowing yourself to think back on that emotion, understanding it, the reason why you felt that way, and being able to explain that to another person. Like, hey, I ain't mean to come off as I was upset with you. What happened was I've been going through a little situation. It's been pissing me off or annoying me. I want you to know it's no feelings for you. You just happen to piss me off at the same time while I'm already feeling that
Right.
emotion. And that's why I responded the way that I did. Honesty is just like, listen, I'm gonna be mad at you and I'm gonna be mad at you and that's it. I'm just gonna be real with you right now. We gonna be mad and I'm gonna be mad and that's it. This is the emotion I'm feeling
No
and that's me
solution.
being honest. There's no solution, right? There's no like apology. There's no solution. This is what I'm feeling and that's it. So that's definitely for me the difference between transparency and honesty.
So you'll choose transparency?
For sure, all the time. I'm a very emotional person. Like, I always want to talk about my emotions.
Yo!
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always want to talk to you about how I feel. And when you can't communicate to me, I just feel like that's super toxic and unhealthy. If you're not able to communicate to me, what are we even doing?
No, yeah.
You know, any type of relationship, as a friendship, as a relationship, my partner, you know, like I feel communication. I have learned that in the last year, communication is key.
And it's not
to
the
life.
It's not the post. It's not the post. It's not the saying that people say. Because look, when people say communication is key, we're saying people think just talking.
Just talk. Nah.
I said something to you already.
Exactly.
No, it's communicating, conversing,
For sure.
comprehending.
Yes.
All the C's are important. Credit, cars. Now,
Because you listening just to listen. You got to listen to understand and be able to respond. You know what I'm saying? It's like dudes, like, I write you a whole paragraph. You only write, okay, I understand.
Response.
You know what
Not
I'm
an
saying?
active
You don't
listener.
even say nothing. You're not an active listener, you know? And that is what you learn in school, too, being an active listener. So that, for me, is important to have in any type of relationship. You know, being able to express myself and you be able to express yourself back to me, us being transparent with each other.
Right.
I am definitely
Some
a
dialogue.
very transparent person, you know? So, for sure.
Like you said with school. What did you just say? Oh my God.
That's what you learn in school,
Right.
active listening.
It's almost as if when people are doing like those little short, you know, those little short paragraphs we used to have. They used to call it comprehension modules or comprehension.
Yeah.
That was the name of the unit we was in, and it was so important because we are rereading this paragraph, summarizing it,
Right.
comprehending it.
Yep.
And then being through transparency, we're gonna tell, because my teacher would be like, okay, how do you feel about this?
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize. They say, how do you feel? What do you think?
Right.
These are words that people are going to be
What did
transparent
you think
with
when you read that?
Right.
You know?
People are bound to be transparent
For
with you
sure.
when you say things like that.
For sure.
So with that being said, how do you know when a person is being transparent with you?
For me, it's when they're able to say the emotion they feeling and then being able to explain why they feeling that emotion. You know what I mean? Like, let's say I'm chilling with a girl and she been real quiet all day and I ask her, hey, what's wrong with you? Oh, nothing. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm gonna give you some time, you know, think about it. By the end of the day, she's able to say, hey, can we talk? Hey, look, I'm sorry about earlier. You know, I just wanted to let you know the reason why I was so quiet all day is because I've been feeling some type of way about something you did and it made me feel some type of way. So I just wanted to say that to you and let you know that you hurt my feelings by you acting like, you know, just being able to express
Eventually,
your
opening
feeling.
up.
You know, opening up and telling me, or like, let's say
I gotta chill.
let's say
along.
let's say that you know, you're dating somebody and they say, hey, you know, take a step back. Look, right now I ain't looking for nothing serious. You know, this is my situation, what I've been going through.
Transparency rather than leading me on.
Exactly. So that's how you know somebody being transparent with you. They telling you what it is, how they feeling about whatever it is y'all doing, and what they're trying to do going forward.
Right.
You know? So that for me is what transparency would look like. Or I forgot the question, but you know.
You said
My bad.
this is how we talk on a regular.
Yeah.
You said that transparent. I asked.
Yeah.
I asked how would you know somebody's being transparent?
Okay. Yes. All right. Cool.
But you kind of you hit it right on the nail, friend. You hit it right on the nail. Yeah. Because especially in our generation, we don't feel the need to explain to anyone anything.
Oh my God, what's wrong?
And if we do, we feel like, okay, you're not my parent, you're not this.
But
I generally feel like the way the other generations got through different things were being transparent.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're going through a whole different economy and a different generation. But look, I remember my step-pops used to tell me, like, look, when you go down this block, they're selling crack. Like, little things. Like, he'll say little things. Like, you don't smoke weed. It's going to mess up your brain cells. Like, straight up things. They had commercials with the egg. Remember? Like, they were very transparent. And I feel like transparency can stop a lot of problems ahead of time.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I feel like kids these days, they don't want to listen.
No,
they don't want to listen. And I'm still a kid myself.
Yeah,
you know, you in your 30s, but I'm 27. You know, I just hit this. I thought I was 16 the other day. You know what I'm saying? This is big ages.
You know, I still feel like a kid at 30. So it's
you
like, I'm a goofball. So
your inner child's always gonna live. Let me say that
all the time.
But I'm just saying, as in, people need to understand that the transparency only works if it comes from both parties.
Yes.
And if both parties are acceptive to it. I could be transparent with you, be like, to hell with you. Go to hell.
Right.
Like, I don't care what you're saying.
Right.
But if the other person understands it, that's when the transaction happens.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
With that being said, you already mentioned that transparency is a form of vulnerability. Mm-hmm. Do you find yourself being vulnerable with a lot of people these days? Or is vulnerability something that you keep in that backpack?
I definitely keep it in the backpack. Okay. I don't feel that everybody deserves your vulnerability. And because I feel it's scary out here. Not only that, I feel like it makes you look weak as a person. You know, I am very in tune with my emotion. I'm a very emotional person, but one thing I'm never going to allow you to see is me being vulnerable. I feel like you save that for your most intimate relationships or friendships and things like with you, I could be vulnerable with you because I know you're not going to judge me, and I know you're going to give me the advice that I need in order for me to be able to, you know, feel better or whatever the case may be, you know. But vulnerability, I feel you definitely save that for the people that you are in tune with, the people you comfortable with, your partner, your closest friend, your closest family member, whoever that is for you, like, save that. You know, vulnerability shouldn't be for everybody, for sure.
Not at all.
Keep that in the back.
Vulnerability at this moment, it's like a diamond.
Yeah.
You don't tell people you have a ton of money in your backpack.
Never.
You don't tell people that you are in possession of diamonds and gold and jewels.
Right.
You don't tell people that.
Right.
You just know you're worthy and rich. You get what I'm trying to say?
Definitely.
You don't have to dress it. You don't have to speak it. You just know. So I feel like with vulnerability, you just have to know that. And I was having this conversation with a friend earlier. Like, people are going to do some real messed up things to me.
Yeah.
You know, recently I got into a situation with someone who... It wasn't transparent at all. And I craved the transparent in that situation.
Yeah.
And they weren't able to give it to me.
Okay.
And I just felt like in that situation, transparency is something that could have saved both sides.
Yeah.
As I move forward and I'm healing from the situation, it's like you start to realize that people don't be transparent with you because it's not to their benefit. And this is when vulnerability can be used as a weapon. You know?
Yeah.
This is when you got to be very careful who you show your vulnerability.
Yes. Because I don't know what it is nowadays. Like, people will really use anything against you and use it to attack you or to make you look like you know, a bad person or something like that. Like, damn, I shared my deepest traumas with you or my deepest emotion with you, and this is how you betray me. Like, this is how you repay me. You know, like,
it's a joke.
Yeah.
You know, like, we talk about mental health all the time, but at the same time, I feel like mental health is a joke, you know? Because for a while, people were saying they were depressed. For a while, people were killing themselves. This is not new things.
Yeah.
And it's not just that. For a while, we had people who thought different or acted things out different, and we weren't able to process it. So we deemed them, like, you know, expired or, like, not worthy.
Yeah.
And I feel like vulnerability is something that people have to continue to teach people and continue to show it's okay.
Yeah.
That's why I asked about the whole sympathy thing, because that is something that's taught.
Mm-hmm.
People teach you how to say bless you.
Mm-hmm.
They teach you how to say excuse me, please, thank you.
The most simplest things.
You know what I'm trying to say? The manners is they're all under that umbrella.
Yeah.
So I feel like you should teach vulnerability.
Yes. For sure.
You should definitely
this is what I try to put my brothers on to. You know what I'm saying? Allowing them to know that they have an open space with me to be able to be vulnerable. You know, because boys don't always feel that way. Men don't always feel like they can be vulnerable. I know I keep tapping into men and boys or whatever, but that's because I got 5 boys. You know what I mean? So my brothers, I always tell them.
I'm the only girlfriend, so
yeah, you know, we in the same boat. You know what I'm saying?
My cousins run to me for everything.
Yeah, so
I
I want them to know this is a safe space. Like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about you to anybody else. Like,
at all.
What you share with me, I'm going to be able to reciprocate that and give you whatever advice you need, whatever empathy you need at that time, and whatever advice you might need to move forward from however you feeling, you know. If we need to go beat somebody up, we're going to go beat somebody up.
Whatever you
know
got
what
to
I'm saying? Whatever you need, I got you. I want you to know that. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever you need.
Yes, whatever you need, I
think that's
you.
transparency too. Just giving that person what they need at that moment.
Yes, definitely.
Right, friend, I'm going to get a little spicy.
All right, cool.
So are you single or in a relationship?
Currently at this moment, I am single. I am dating myself.
I love that.
Dating myself. You know?
And she's fire.
Yeah.
Like, you start to learn so many different things about yourself.
Yes.
It be the little things. I realize it's not what you put on, it's what's in you.
Exactly.
Like,
this is what I'm saying. Like, I have built a lot within this last year. Like, I learned a lot about myself that I really didn't know for the last... I've been in and out of relationships since I was 15 years old. So I'm 30 now, and it's like, damn, I get to, you know, I'm by myself. I could do whatever I want. I could go out to eat by myself. I don't gotta ask nobody nothing. I don't gotta tell nobody nothing. You know, like, y'all see my location, my brothers and shit, whoever got my location, like, y'all see where I'm at. But I don't have to explain myself to anybody. So I'm really enjoying that freedom right now. You know, I ain't looking for nothing. I'm single. I'm chilling. I'm just dating myself, you know, so, yeah.
Would you say that the reason why you're not in a relationship is because you feel like there's no type of vulnerability in partnership?
That definitely is one of the reasons. It adds to many other reasons. You know, I say this all the time and is like real like vulgar, but the dating pool got piss in it. Yo, the dating pool got piss in it, man. Like, I don't know what's wrong. You know, I'm a lesbian, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know what's wrong with the females nowadays, you know, but I'm learning a lot as I do, like, put myself out there. But I have definitely stopped putting myself out there because I feel that a lot of people like to play with your emotions. A lot of people like to play with your heart. They take you being like a good person or like putting your all into them, putting the effort into being with them and dating them and talking to them. They take that as a joke. And they like, oh, you know, they talking to whatever, multiple people at a time. And they're like, oh, you know, I'm going to hang out with you because you spending money on me. Fuck it. Like, why not? And then they, back in their mind, they got their person that they want to be with the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So I was just a background person for you. I was a, what did they call that?
A rebound?
Rebound, right? I was just a rebound the whole time. I hate being a rebound.
Oh
my God.
If I get an inch of hint that I'm a rebound, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I want a full shot.
Yeah.
Like,
I want a fair shot. I want a fair shot. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, allow yourself to heal, do what you got to do, and then circle back. Maybe I'll be available. But, you know, that's what I've been experiencing a lot of nowadays. So it's like I've stopped myself from
It's definitely a game out of here.
there.
I think it's a game out here.
Yeah.
I think there's actually, I know.
Not think.
Okay.
No.
I put a pause on dating too, friend, only because, like you said, there's things I want to get to know about myself. You know, I've been in multiple relationships that have taught me multiple lessons.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, how do I learn this lesson but also find a solution?
Right.
And I believe the game is how much people can you be stimulated by?
Yeah.
I feel like our generation doesn't know how to let go of certain things.
Yes.
So because we've been hurt, we're holding on to the hurt.
Yeah.
We're holding on to the hurt from our parents. We're holding on to, you know, to a lot of things. And it's stopping us from being vulnerable with each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Humans need humans.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you feel like you don't need it, because there's a difference between being alone and being lonely.
Yeah.
You You know?
I'm learning that. That's something new that I'm learning.
Me too.
No, for real. Because
I
I'm
could be
comfortable being alone.
I don't want to be lonely.
Yeah, you know?
Like, I don't want to live my life.
Yes.
Like, you know,
I agree.
not finding that partner that makes me stop breathing. Like, I love love.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, and then being alone makes me feel like I'm going to be lonely for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Sometimes. Like, I feel like that sometimes,
It confuses it.
Because then dating is like, damn, like, none of these girls is really, like...
And you'd rather be alone.
In tune. I'd rather be alone. You know, than for me to be dealing with a toxic person or somebody who doesn't have the emotional capacity to be my partner. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I date girls older, a little bit young, not too young, you know, but a little bit younger, my age, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, how are you an older woman and you can't understand your emotions? How you so toxic at 30-something years old, almost 40? Like, that's crazy to me, you know?
Not even processing no type of trauma yet.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, go heal, do what you got to do for whatever many years you need to do it for, and then, you know, find your person, because I'm not that person.
Yeah.
You know, so...
yeah, and I think I know right off the bat now.
Yeah. I'm learning
That's
that.
great.
I'm learning that. For
the
sure.
little playful relationships were cool.
Yeah. When I was
now,
younger.
I don't got time to waste.
Yeah.
Are we getting
I'm
married?
30. We getting married or
to
not?
Turks.
Right.
Let me know.
You know what I'm saying?
I got this love that I want to release.
Yes.
You know, but I want to make sure my discernment is letting me release it to the right person.
For sure.
With that being said, I personally hold grudges. I'm not a person who's very forgiving.
Okay.
And that's because I give you chances to, like, I hate you. And it's not even because I hate you. I give you chances till you are deemed unworthy.
Okay.
Till you're dead to me.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And that's because I generally believe we go through shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I don't get things right away. So I think that's why I give people grace. Like, I may fuck up again once you tell me.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, my projection onto people is to give them multiple chances until I feel like, ugh, all right, I can't even look at you.
Yeah.
And I realize that's not the way to go. It's okay to still be cordial with someone, let them know this is not what you want for them.
Yeah.
And then keep it pushing.
Yeah.
That's the most scary thing for me. And I realized once I started doing that, the grudges started to disappear.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Fred, do you feel like you forgiving? Do you feel like you hold grudges?
I think that you know, I'm a very forgiving person. I definitely have been the same way as you, where I give you so many chances until you disgust me, and I'm like, all right, fuck, like, all right, I'm done. Like, I can't no more. Most recently, like, I had a person in my life that I gave a million chances to, even after they did me, you know, grimy or whatever. And I just, this year was like, one day they had sent me a wrong message, and I was just like, you know what?
It's dead.
I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Block, delete it. I'm gone.
It's time.
You know, like, it's time for me to let that go and just move forward with my life. So I have held grudges in the past. As I'm getting older, I'm learning that life is so much more simpler when you just forget about shit that don't make you happy.
Let it go. That don't give a fuck attitude does help.
Let go, let God, and just do you. Like, what's meant for you will always be there for you. And anything that doesn't make you happy, you shouldn't have to be around. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't like to be sad. So when I am sad, I do whatever I could do to get back to that happy place, because that's what's important in my life. Life is about finding your happiness.
It is.
Life is not about being sad or depressed or worried about your grudges from the past. Nah, let that shit go and keep moving forward, because that's what life is going to continue to do every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm only getting older. I'm going to keep holding on to shit from when I was 25 years old. Nah, bro. I'm 30 years old now. I'm going to be 31 this year. I need to move forward the same way my life is moving forward. Because life keeps going. It doesn't stop for nobody.
It's moving so fast.
It's moving fast. Faster. I feel like it's moving so much more faster now than it was when we were younger.
Like, the world, like, the Earth is orbiting faster.
Absolutely.
We about to hit the end of April.
Yeah.
April Fool's was yesterday.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
But you're right, friend. And I think you're very loud with your message. I feel like for me, it's the letting go right now is something that I need to put into practice.
Yes.
I'm putting myself in different rooms, you know, different experiences. And with that being said, I can't have one foot in the past and one foot in the future.
Exactly.
You know?
For sure.
Especially with relationships, friendships, whatever it is. You just got to let it go. Yeah. If it was meant to be, it will be. Yep. But with that being said, if you had a DeLorean, you know what a DeLorean is?
Nah. I never heard that before. That's crazy.
From Phil Back to the Future?
Nah, no. I know Phil of the Future.
Phil of the
whatever,
Future.
Yeah, but That word I haven't heard that in a while.
I combined the shows, y'all. Sorry. There's Phil of the Future.
And then
there's Back to the Future.
Okay.
So the DeLorean is the time traveling.
Oh, got you. Okay, the car.
Right.
Got it.
So I bought that girl a DeLorean.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
That's what it's called.
Okay.
That's how I remember it. Because Uzi, that was tough.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you had a DeLorean, you was with Phil from Back to the Future. What is one experience or person that you would fix things with?
Experience or a person? Wow. So me, I'm a big basketball person. Not a person, fuck a person, but for me, myself, an experience, I would want to go back to my middle school years and tap in with my basketball. You know, because right now, I was supposed to be in the WNBA right now.
I feel
you. Know what I'm saying?
You give it W anyway,
you know what
man.
I mean? So it's like,
I can see you in the
I would
tux.
want to go back, right. I would want to go back to when I was 14 years old and I had the opportunity to go away to school and play ball.
Right.
And really just tap into that and tell myself, like, yo, get in tune, leave the girls alone. Get in tune with you and your basketball
Chasing
and keep
love
pushing it.
pushes
Yes,
you back.
this is what I'm saying. Since 15 years old, I've been in a relationship.
Now I can't even talk to a guy if I don't got it. If I don't got it, let me not even get paid this week.
Right.
Don't say nothing to me.
Exactly. You know, so that's one thing I would definitely go back for an experience to experience that all over again, my basketball career, and really tap into it. And not worry about anybody else tapping into it, just tap into me tapping into it, because I didn't learn how to really tap into myself until I was like 17 years old. And I started taking my high school career seriously. You know, like when I started taking my high school career seriously, I'm like, yo, I'm going to college. I'm the first person in my family to go to college and graduate. You know what I'm saying?
Period,
and get a
friend.
degree. I'm the first person in my family with a degree.
Clock it.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and I'm about to have my second degree in September this year. You know, so that's something I had to teach myself because my family wasn't really in tune at the time.
Right.
Now they in tune. Oh shit, Alisha on her shit, you know, whatever. But, you know, that's something I would definitely want to experience all over again if I had to, you know, with the DeLorean. That's a new thing I learned. DeLorean. I gotta go watch that.
The
now.
DeLorean, yeah. I love old movies like
Me
Ferris
too.
Bueller Day Off.
Yeah, Ferris Bueller Day Off. Yeah,
House parties.
I used to
love
watch
that.
it with my pops.
I
my
love
pops.
old movies. You know why? Because they had a objective in the beginning, and they had a solution.
Yep.
I love when the main character finds a solution.
Yeah.
It transfers into my life.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying?
I watch a lot of old movies myself because my father is a big movie head, and that's all we used to do when I was younger. Like every other weekend, I come to his crib, we watch movies. So that's what I do on my days off. I'm not gonna lie.
I chill.
If I'm not in the club, I'm home watching movies.
Yeah, if I be outside, y'all.
I
get lost in movies because that ultimately takes your mind off of things.
Yeah, for sure. That's my coping mechanism.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. We're just watching TV the whole day in
It's like a
bed.
distraction.
Yeah, with some comfort food. You know what I mean?
But friend, I appreciate you for coming.
Yeah, thank
and
you for having me.
I don't even want to stop this convo.
No, what's up? Let's go talk.
I'm ready to get a drink. Just keep talking.
You already know what's up.
I generally want to ask you, what is one word that describes how this overall experience went?
Amazing. Amazing.
Wow.
Honestly,
this amazing.
Yo, this honestly amazing. Like I want to do this again. Like when's the next episode?
Sure.
I want to be on the next episode. You know what I mean? Like I just feel that this was me stepping out of my comfort zone, and I appreciate you for allowing me to be here or asking me to be here. You know what I mean? And this whole thing just been amazing for me. Just having a regular This is having a regular conversation, me and you. You know, but now we putting it on the screen for everybody else to see, and then we'll see, you know, what they reciprocate back to us. You know what I'm saying?
I think my word is going to be perseverance for you, friend.
Okay.
Because
I
even
like that.
though you're not going to be, let me not even say that, friend, because you never know. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we tend to give up on dreams the older we get.
Yeah.
And I feel like you shouldn't give up, friend.
On basketball.
I wanted to be a journalist.
Yeah.
I wrote
And
my
look at
first
this.
book on my punishment from summer. I wrote a first book. It was a trivia book, friend. Down to the crossword puzzles. I had everything
that's
in
fire.
there. And I just knew, like, I want to get into the field of media and stuff like that, expression.
Yeah.
So don't give up.
Yeah.
I don't think you should give up.
I'm gonna try my best. You know, that's why I be in the gym now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm trying to get my figure right, trying to get my mind right, and maybe I'll tap into another sport. You know, maybe not basketball,
Or even
but
a
something
league.
else. You
They
know,
got adult leagues.
exactly. Yeah, a little summer league or something for
Right.
adults over 30. You know, so
'Cause eventually
we all got
hobbies
We all
turn
got the
into
same
passions.
needs. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Nah.
So- but yeah.
If this felt good or helped even a little bit, give it a thumbs up. Want more moments like this? Hit subscribe. Take care of you always. Whether you're riding the emotional coaster or just need a moment to vent, this is your space to feel it all. No judgment, just good vibes and good conversations. See you guys next time. Later, friends.